gonna be whack and he gonna suck and he gonna tarnish his legacy and all this kind of stuff. But
this is like when your grandpa that used to like gamble away all the money and then left your grandma and moved to another state and got a whole new family, and now he coming back for Thanksgiving. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
That's so funny. So he's coming back with a plethora of things. You know, he's going to start working the comedy circuit to, you know, build up his act. And he's got a Netflix deal to do a stand-up special. He's got the Dolomite movie coming out. He's going to be on SNL, which he haven't done since the 80s. Like 84, I think, was the last time he did SNL. So, yeah, he's just, you know, he basically said when he retired that, you know, well, that he's semi-retired and that he'll just do projects that he really wants to do. And if he doesn't really want to do it, he's content to stay at home and play his guitar.
Wow.
You know,
Who'd have thought?
That's the life.
Who'd have thought?
That's the life. You know
guitar,
what I mean?
Huh?
Yeah.
Not Xbox.
No, the guitar. Well, you know he likes music.
Yes.
He said he's never stopped doing his music either. So
party all the time.
Party all the time. She likes to party all the time.
That's what's up.
So we've mentioned the Dolomite movie a few times.
And Coming to America.
And Coming to America. That's another one he's also doing. But I want to spend a little bit of time on the Dolomite thing for a couple of reasons. One, I just realized today that a lot of people might not know who we're talking about when we say Dolomite.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know Dolomite, but I don't know much about him because I was young when Dolomite came out.
So I'm going to take a little bit of time, catch our people up on who Dolomite is.
Dun, dun, dun.
So Dolomite is a character created by, well, not really created by, but made famous by Rudy Ray Moore. Rudy Ray Moore, the comedian, he was kind of a all-around type dude back in the day. He did a little singing, a little club dancing, a little whatever, you know. They got into comedy, and they call Rudy Ray Moore, or a lot of people call him the godfather of rap. Because in his routine, he would tell these stories with a lot of profanity. They had a lot of profanity, and they rhymed.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a rap. It was kind of like rap, spoken word, hybrid type thing. And he would talk over some music. Right. A lot of times jazz or, you know, sometimes like some African type drums and different things like that. And so they say it's kind of like the forerunner of rap.
Right.
You know, he did that. So anyway, I have a little bit of one of Rudy Ray Moore's more popular acts, right? It's called The Signifying Monkey. I'm going to play a little of that just so you can hear who he is and whatever. So anyway, before I play that, I'm just telling you some more about him. So he started doing, you know, these acts and things like that. And he was working in a record store. And when he worked in a record store, he used to hear some guy named Rico would come in and tell these fantastic tales about this pimp named Dolomite, right? And so Rudy Ray Moore he got the idea from, he's like, I'm going to personify this Dolomite guy and put him in my act. And so he basically got the inspiration from this Rico guy about his stories about some dude named Dolomite. And he kind of made that a character and became that character on stage. And then he got the idea of, I need to make a movie. You know, this was during the time, you know, basically the only time you saw black people, you saw them in black exploitation movies is what we call them now. And
hood films back then.
And so Rudy Ray Moore said, I'm going to make my own Dolomite movie. So anyway, this is a clip from one of his movies, but he used to do this as, you know, as a stand-up routine. So check out Rudy Ray Moore as Dolomite doing Signifying Monkey.
Way down in the jungle deep, the lion stepped on the signifying monkey's feet. The monkey said, motherfucker, can't you see? You're standing on my goddamn feet. The monkey lived in the jungle in an old oak tree. Bulls shitting a lion every day in the week. Every day before Before the sun go down, that lion would kick his ass all through the jungle top. But the monkey got wise and started using his wit. Started saying, I'm gonna put a stop to this old ass-kicking shit. So he ran up on the lion the very next day. He said, oh, Mr. Lion, there's a big bad motherfucker coming your way.
Okay, so you get the point. Dolomite, basically his whole career could be what we consider underground.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. People are just now starting to know a little bit about him in the mainstream.
Rudy Ray Moore, not Dolomite.
What did I say? What I said? Wait,
You
what
said
happened?
Dolomite.
Okay, yeah, Rudy Ray Moore. Because Dolomite's a character.
Right.
Yeah, Rudy Ray Moore's whole career pretty much was underground because of the language and they couldn't market him. And he was still, for the time, successful or became successful from word of mouth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was kind of like if you took Red Fox, Bishop Don the Magic Wand, and Michael Jai White and put them in a blender, you would get Rudy Ray Moore.
Rudy Ray Moore.
Because
So sad.
he did a little bit of all that stuff. Not quite as well as any of those three guys.
Separated,
but all together he did all those things. And I don't think his movies were meant to be comedy. But now, like as a young kid, you know, in my late teens, early 20s, me and my friends, we found out about Dolomite and stuff, mostly through rappers. The fame that he's gotten now, after he's passed away now, has been mostly through rappers, giving him props and stuff, kind of like Bishop Don Magic Wand and other underground characters.
Yeah.
You know, they talk about him. And Snoop says there would be no Snoop Dogg without Rudy Ray Moore, and that's a fact, he says.
Yeah.
Like, that's real. He said that's just straight up, no hyperbole.
I can definitely see that.
So, so that's who this guy is, and that's why he's getting the movie, because even though, like, a lot of, mainstream American white culture doesn't know anything about him, like, black people know a lot about him, and
we love him, and we respect Dolomite. We respect Rudy Ray Moore for what he brought to our community.
So I have actually here Rudy Ray Moore's daughter came out, and she's not happy about some things.
What?
Yeah, check it out.
How could they do this to me? I am the only legal heir to the Dolomite estate. Hello, my name is Yvette Rusty Wesson. I am Rudy Ray Moore's daughter. Xenon Pictures has given unauthorized approval to Netflix and Davis Entertainment to produce a film based on my father's name and likeness, titled Dolomite Is My Name, starring Eddie Murphy as Dolomite. The movie premieres September the 7th at Toronto's International Film Festival. It has an unspecified Netflix release date. It is not fair that these companies and artists should make millions off my father's name and likeness while I struggle on welfare.
Oh, my God.
That's some bullshit.
I'm calling bullshit on that. I don't think that's real. That feels like it doesn't feel real to me. Did you hear the way she plugged the movie? If you are mad at the movie and you feel like they owe you money and all this kind of stuff, why would you go out of your way to tell the stars the day that it releases and that it's coming out on Netflix? Like, that sounded like a promo. That sounded more like a promo than somebody who was mad.
I don't know. I think she was just giving information about. I think she was really upset.
I wish Pip was here.
I think she was upset.
I wish Pip was.
Pip, what do you think?
Google me, bitch.
Oh, that's what I thought you'd say.
I smell bullshit. I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but that did not come across as authentic for me.
For me, it just happens too many times inside the industry where they do this. So to me, it's not outside of believable. It's just
no. I hear you, and I agree. What she is saying in this circumstance, we've seen it before many times.
Yeah.
That's not the part I have a problem with. It's just
how she did it.
I don't believe.
I had to check the date. I'm like, damn, the 7th, that was yesterday. Ain't nobody posted it. I ain't seen shit on Twitter.
No, I
know somebody got it on bootleg.
No, it came out at the film festival.
I know somebody was in there with the little GoPro and the glasses.
No, they wait till it comes out in the theater to do that. They can't do that at the film festivals. There's too much security and stuff. They can't get away with that there.
Okay.
They gotta wait for the wide release when it comes out in the movie theaters. Then they'll bootleg it.
I still haven't seen anybody like any articles or blah. Maybe it's Sunday, so everybody's at home, just like still reeling from the comedy. I don't know.
You mean from the debut of Dolomite on the 7th?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't read anything about it yet.
Yeah,
either.
it was yesterday.
Yeah, that's not that long.
I know. That's why I'm saying maybe everybody's just at home reeling right now, just hammering away on their laptops.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm going to give them to tomorrow before I be like, oh, that movie was whack. If I don't hear anything by tomorrow, I'm going to call bullshit on the whole movie.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I think that's definitely a movie that's not going to be for everybody. You know what I mean? First of all, I think you have to know who Dolomite was and appreciate,
I don't think so.
who he was in order to enjoy. I do. I think if you just watch the movie and don't know who Dolomite is, I don't think you'll like it.
Because wasn't somebody else up for that role too?
I don't know. Isn't there always somebody else up for
I know, but it was somebody else who was like, okay, anyway. But I think
are you thinking about the Richard Pryor movie?
Maybe. Mike Epps.
That was Richard Pryor.
Okay. Richard Pryor.
I had a feeling you was something. Yeah, because there was several people that was up for that.
Yeah. So, but I feel like that's why they chose Eddie Murphy, was because his name was so big and people young and old would be able to gravitate toward Eddie Murphy, and then people who also know about Dolomite would be able to, also join in on that. So I think that was probably.
Well, I think they also picked him. I think Eddie Murphy is
the
not
best for it too.
Yeah, he's not. It's not just Eddie Murphy himself is not that big of a stretch from Dolomite.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's just a more talented, better version of who Dolomite was, really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's just
more polished.
Yeah, he's just a better version of Dolomite. So, I mean, he was not a pimp. Eddie Murphy wasn't a pimp. And
I think
the Dolomite character is a pimp. But even like just the way he jokes and a lot of things, the way he says in his comedy, in his routines and stuff, it sounds similar to the way Rudy May Moore sounded when he was doing Dolomite. You know what I mean? So
yes, definitely, absolutely.
So, yeah.
So I'm very excited to hear what they say tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's the critics trash it or not. I'm still want to see it.
Oh no, absolutely.
I'm still going to see it. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm still going to see it.
Absolutely.
So because that's one I could totally see them not getting. I can see them giving it a bad reviews and we still love it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That happens sometimes.
Yeah, I can see that.
I can see that.
I can see that for sure.
I can see that.
They might say, "Oh, it's too pimpy and too black or something."
And also, not to mention, it's going to be extremely politically incorrect because it's based back in the 60s and 70s and in its heyday was like way before the times that we're living in now.
Oh.
So for it to be authentic, they're going to have to do it,
Yeah.
Yeah, so those people who don't understand the context and stuff like that are going to be trying to apply. They're going to try to apply today's moralities and sensibilities on it, like they always do.
Don't do that, y'all. If you listening, it was back then. People could smoke cigarettes in school. The parents would show up smoking a cigarette. It was that time.
The doctor giving the lady an ultrasound would be smoking a cigarette.
Right? Yeah. Right. Exactly. That's some shit right there.
Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, boy.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah. So, in other news, we mentioned Hurricane Dorian earlier. But,
big up to everybody that was part of Hurricane Dorian. We're praying for y'all.
Definitely.
Don't rob anybody, though.
Please don't do that. But
Walmart. I'm with that.
there was some other things. There was some